Okay. Step 2 is basically we're going to go out to our environment and add a constraint and add it to the customization, and then we'll push it to our Git repo, and that will allow Flux to reconcile. So the first thing I'm going to do is let me go first to the cluster. And so if you do, and I'll put these commands in the repo there, but kubectl, git customizations, namespace big bang. Let's see, make sure we're not doing anything yet. Okay, so here's my applied version. So it's 9.2 is my, I'd look at the last, just easy for me to look at these last digits. So 9.2 is the latest customization. So and I'm in my directory for my big bang on my local machine. So let's do those steps. So first I'll go into my environment here. And so this particular environment, customize windows, is dev. And so basically in here, like we want to do two things. We want to basically create a customization and have the customization YAML point to it. And then Flux will pick those up and make those changes. And then based on that screen I had when I showed the edits, what I was going to do is, so here's the YAML we want to override. So the kind is this thing here. So this K8s allowed repos needs to be modified. And we're going to say of pods, and then I want to add Docker IO. And basically what I'm trying to do here is I'm going to create a customization that's going to apply this piece of YAML to my cluster. And so infrastructure as code, and through Flux, I'm able to push these things out to Git, and then Flux will pick them up and make my cluster. And so when this all reconciles and when everything's complete, I should now be able to pull images from Docker IO. So the first thing we're going to want to do is create a file called constraint.yaml. And so I'll go to my dev and I'll just create new, and here is my file. I'm gonna call it constraint.yaml, and I'm just gonna grab this little bit of YAML here, paste that in. And once again, the key here is I want to add this. So you might want to add your private registry and a bunch of other things here, but this is gonna be the customization for the constraint. Now, under the patch strategy piece, I'm gonna add a new resource. So right around here, I can add a new resource. And so once again, I'm pointing that constraint that was this file here that has the YAML. And it's pretty much as simple as that. There's a lot of other things in this file, but basically for what we're trying to do today, we're effectively going to override those settings in Gatekeeper. So I'm going to save that and save that to make sure everything's saved. So now I have a new file constraint, and then I updated customization.yaml. So go back here, let me just look to make sure everything's still cool. So I got customizations. I just want to see if nothing's happening, make sure I'm still at 9.2. And as you see here, 9.2. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and do my old git add dot git commit -m it. Now I could obviously just add that single file, but I'm gonna go ahead and push everything up here and make sure I'm on set. And then I'll do a git push. Okay, so now what I've done is I modified my YAMLs, I pushed them up to my Git repository, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of keep a look here, and you could do a watch or just keep kind of running this. And so I'm still at 9.2. I think I have this set for a minute or so. So shortly, Flux is gonna detect a change, and it's gonna start deploying things. So let's watch that really quick, make sure we have no errors, and then we'll confirm. So still at 9.2. Okay, reconciliation in progress. Applied version 9.2, so give that a second. I might have missed that last change. And once again, if there's any errors, it'll show up here. Okay, so now it's saying we're at CC. Make sure it sticks. Okay, next video, we'll check and make sure everything deployed correctly.